4 present, 1 is absent.
Do we have any online guests?
We do. We have a member of the public present.
Okay, so start off with public participation. Item is appearing on the agenda. When it's your item, it's
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle
parking, the public may address the board,
moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
This time are requested to use the raise hand feature and state your name, residence, or record, and then we'll be able to begin to address the board. How much should be limited to 3 minutes? Do I have any requests? Okay, moving on to consent. Looking for a motion.
Second.
I have a first and second. Please call roll.
Director Burbank?
Yes.
Dr. Grego?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 approving, 1 absent.
Okay, going on to district business. Consider approving temporary advance for capacity fees reserves for gap funding of grant-funded projects.
I can take that. Right now we are running with these big projects, the steel main, and then we have the AMI project, and I don't know what some smaller project. Point being is they come from the enterprise funds, water and wastewater. The grant funding is on a reimbursement basis, so we have to up the monies up front, and then once it files for reimbursement. So while they come fairly quick, which seen from the Department of Water Resources and both the water agency, right? The cash balances we have is about 12 million on a given day in the water fund and about close to 30 million in the wastewater fund. Most of the monies are sitting in reserves and cap fees, and they're restricted by the board. When we cut those checks, we kind of using these monies, that cushion right there to cover those checks. Well, we technically can't do that without getting board approval saying, you can't do this, so this is what this is for. I mean, it makes it easier. The projects run a lot quicker rather than asking for advances and, have the state or the water agency advance the money and then we go ahead. Yeah, this is a lot easier, but just to stay all clear, I'd like to ask for approval so we can keep on doing this and having the projects run smoothly. So if somebody comes in at a certain point of time saying, hey, we don't have enough money in operating monies, where's the approval to borrow against the cap fee? So that's what we're asking for.
Through the chair, this is a common practice on many agencies that do this kind of work, and then it was before the Water and Wastewater Board, and we recommend its approval.
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
First, second, please call roll.
Dr. Burbank?
Yes.
Dr. Grego?
Yeah.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 approving, 1 absent.
Moving on to Public Works, receive an update on Yuba County Parks and Recreation Work Group charter.
So Director Burbank and I went to the meeting today and sat with an ad hoc group that was interested in the formation of either a Regional Parks Authority or a JPA of such. We kind of
the agenda on that.
explained why OPUD would not be interested in those actions and the funding mechanisms for, and that it's not something where we could just say, okay, well, we're going to pony up fees so you guys can disperse it for another project. We can't do that with a lot of the funding for Plumas Lake. It's just not feasible. So explaining that to them, they decided that it'd be best just to take talking points back versus doing a vote to try and move forward with that. So it was also stated that if they decided to move that direction, and we would not be taking part. So we just wanted to give you guys an update unless you guys choose to make a motion of sorts on taking us out of the work group charter. That's your prerogative, but that's kind of where we stood right now with them.
This was the same group, the gal that came in that one time?
Yes, Dr. Lou, yes.
Dr. Lou.
Yes.
And I remember we turned it down. And they're basically back, they want.
It seems to be kind of being pushed by couple of individuals, but I think, Director Burbank did a good job of saying, the board said no, flat out, the board said
I'm
no.
not interested, and I told him it was on our agenda tonight to reaffirm that.
Yeah, so,
We weren't
but,
interested, but they, they talk about maybe down the road having programs and stuff, and I let them know that Bree does a great job with programs in our park, and we don't wish to
Yeah.
have anybody, overriding any of that, basically.
Well, and if at any moment things change where we decide that maybe we do want to be a part of it, we can in the future. But for now,
Well, and I mean, they have no funding.
yeah.
I think it's kind of a pipe dream.
it's their biggest hurdle is absolutely no funding. And, I said, if you guys want to do, pairing projects where, a couple organizations, partner together to do a project together where there's matching funding, however you guys want to work that out, that's perfectly fine. And, if we come in and we say, hey, we found a grant, we don't qualify for it or we can't utilize it, but here's an opportunity. I think that's what this group should be about. But trying to force a Regional Parks Authority or a JPA, I said, that's not what we all signed on. Our legal counsel did a great job of making notes and changes to that agreement to state specifically that a majority cannot force the unwilling partners to move and do something that they are not against, that they're against. And so we reiterated that in the meeting. So that's kind of.
And obviously it's stated and was stated that we're interested in collaboration, working together, teamwork, but just not as part of
They're
it.
doing a mapping thing that's showing what amenities are in the park, so the trails of the river, anything like that.
Yeah, GIS.
That's great. We're happy to participate
Okay.
in that, but we don't have any funding to fund anything else. They mentioned at one point maybe like sharing equipment or resources. It's like, no, I don't think we want to do that either. So,
Yeah, we don't have anything that we can participate with unless we say, hey, we have a grant funding opportunity that we can't take advantage of. We talked about the pool, we talked about the youth center building in our plans that we have going forward and so forth, and what our hopes were for the future for both projects. But otherwise, we said we're not interested in moving forward in that regard.
there was a gentleman there from the water agency, Ben Dale.
I don't know what his last
But
name.
he was talking about having funding to get a consultant, and it was more about the river access, the trails and all that kind of stuff. So, but he says he has funding for something like that, but he doesn't have anybody to team up with to make it happen. They don't. That's not what they do.
They're not service providers.
Yeah, so, if that's something we'd want to have a conversation maybe with water agency, if we're interested in any river access out our way or something like that, and they have funding for it, then I didn't speak up to that.
Yeah.
That's something I'd be interested in. I mean, being a part of Three Rivers Levee Improvement Authority, one of the things was access to the river, recreation. My dream was always to have cycling and joggers go in one direction, horseback riding going in another, whereas Starvin would be a trailhead. And, I think that maybe in the future, that's something that as an amenity that I think a lot of people would look at in this community as it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And so, I've talked to the water agency about it because there's some interest there. And maybe in the future that might happen. So I just don't want to take that off the table. I'd like to keep that discussion going if the water agency is interested in providing some help with that type of project.
Sure.
Good, thank you.
Anything else, anything from the public on this item?
No.
Hearing nothing, moving on to receive an update on the youth Somerville remodel.
Yeah, last time we had this, we met with Dalton and Spence, who did, I think, the remodeling of the office. And the park agreement, we met with them. They are working on the engineering design for the layout that needs to be done. And then from there, they can give us a cost estimate of what it's going to take to do those improvements.
Okay.
Thank you.
That includes the electrical as well.
Yeah, is there a time frame? Do we know?
I'm not, I can reach out to them and see what that time frame is.
Thank you.
Questions from the board, questions from the public. Okay, moving on, consider approving the update OPUD concession stand policy with applications and key and deposit forms.
So with this one, I was tasked with updating our concession stand policy in the event that we have multiple users that want to use it simultaneously, and then come up with a application for them to fill out at the beginning of the time that they want to use it, as well as a key deposit and key signature, you know, sign out and sign back in. One of the things that's on there that's highlighted in yellow is what a potential cost would be for utilization of it, as well as deposit for damages. And Karen and I kind of went through the costs, and there really is no one way of determining how much it would cost. You can't figure out how much just that area for electricity costs or anything like that. So when we were in the Parks Committee, we would, Director Peralt wanted us to put on there that we will look at this annually just to adjust accordingly. If it's too high, then we can adjust down. If it's too low, we can adjust up, but to look at it on at least an annual basis. But this way, in the event that we have multiple users that would like to utilize it, whether it be Little League, flag football, travel ball teams, anything like that, this kind of alleviates the keeping of items in there, you know, as storage, or if you keep an item in there, it's then others can use it. So if something breaks, it's not, you know, that's your own responsibility to remove your products. So with that, we ask for approval of the policy.
This is John. Legal counsel has yet to review this, so I ask that you make a motion pending legal review.
Thank you.
If there's no discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion with that recommendation pending legal review.
I'll second.
First, second, please call roll.
Director Burbank?
Yes.
Director Griego?
Yes.
Director Nelson?
Yes.
Director Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 approving, 1 absent.
Moving on to water, wastewater, receive an update on South County infrastructure.
Yeah, I can go, and then if John has something as well. We've been meeting with the leadership group every Wednesday, and currently we're on schedule for, at least on we've signed the contract to go out for theirs on October 29th. OPUD's contract 2 to go out and sometime in December. And then the wastewater obviously has been updated to do phase 1 and 2 combined into 1, and that'll be going out in sometime in June. We also had an ad hoc meeting where representatives of all the organizations, Yuba Water Agency, Yuba County, OPA staff with Director Griego, Director Peralt, and Wheatland's manager and their board members, 2 of them met, and we talked about the progress of the project, plus questions that community members may have, and what those answers would be, because there's a lot of opinions and a not the full truth of what the project is, not highlights of what this little project was. So we've been meeting on that and continuously progressing as we get closer to bid out of the project.
Okay.
So for clarification, when Swansea talks about phase 2, phase 2 is the point that we actually get the 40-mile road spur connected so that the sports and entertainment zone would have service out there, both water and wastewater. In this first phase, we're including phase 2 for the plant only. The reason that we're doing that is because if we did phase 1, we'd end up literally tearing out parts of phase 1 to do phase 2, which is a waste of money. It doesn't make any sense. So the agency has agreed to, it's around $11 to $12 million for that phase 2 portion, but that will be done along with phase 1. And then the idea is the rest of phase 2 should be seamlessly contiguous to the first phase project, the regionalization project. So everything looks like it's going that way right now. So hopefully we'll keep that. As far as the agreements, we've been doing about 2 to 3 meetings a week on the financial agreements. It's starting to come together. It's very, very, very complex. You have a bunch of infrastructure, and the idea is that you want to assign a share to each piece of infrastructure. For example, Contract 1 would be 100% wheatland. Why is that? Well, because it's 100% wheatland. It's all in their territory, and it only serves them. Contract 2 would be a portion of both wheatland and OPUD. And then contract 3 would also be a portion of wheatland and OPUD. So the idea is to assign the proportions to each small leg. And then once we do that, we can establish how much wheatland owes for the project and how much OPUD owes for the contract. At that point, we subtract roughly 50% of the grant from each, and then that's what we're left with as far as a loan from the agency, which would be paid back by capacity fees. So, but it's very complex. There's all kinds of issues with the legal portions with regards to AB 1600, which describes, how you can use grant money and so on and so forth. So it gets very, very complicated. So that's why EPS and a few of our legal counsels are working on this.
Through the chair, on the communication side, they've given us information about this project, so we're all on the same page. And so, for instance, you're going to see like table tents at Duke Steiner talking about this project and answering some of the questions that people are going to be asking. Not everybody's in love with this project. And so there's a lot of naysayers out there about speculating why the water agency and why OPUD and Wheatland are and the county getting together to collaborate on such an important issue to the South County. Not only does it serve the people of Wheatland and keep their Olivehurst Public Utility District. And when I was on the board of supervisors, I was the one that said, in order to maintain these costs and keep them down, OPUD would be the best provider. Before that, they were by a contractor who was there for money. It was a for-profit business, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these poor people were paying $800 a month for their services out there.
Goodness.
And I mean, they literally came to the board crying because the board had to approve the budget every year. And they just said they don't want to walk away from their investments or their homes, but they couldn't afford these utility bills. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that Wheatland would be in the same position. If they had to build their own wastewater treatment facility, their water bills would be quite high in order to pay for those improvements. This is a way to work around that, to build collaboration. Down the road, maybe 20 or 30 years from now, we'll probably have one regional wastewater facility in the South County that will be operated by Olivehurst, Linda, and probably a separate board. But today, this is the way to get started. And so, not everybody's in love with the the Hard Rock project as well. And it's kind of incorporated into the phase 2 of the project. And so just to try to squash that speculation and those rumor mills, they're coming out with a very comprehensive way to communicate with the public. I know that they're going to do bill stuffers for both OPUD and Wheatland customers, and then, reach out through social media, and then, like I said, table tents as well. So they're trying to get the positive word out on this project and why it's needed in the South County.
Good.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, let's move on to receive an update on lift station roofs and Zants.
Yep, so this is the 2-portion, obviously, project. We got the exterior work that's being done. All the piping's been done. We're just waiting. The last thing on the exterior portion is the bio bed. We had a meeting with Jacobs as we wanted a second opinion on the bio bed, and we received some items of update that they believe would be important for the owners. One was like the material of the bio bed. One was a humidifier where it takes the gas and kind of liquefies it so it doesn't let it release anything. So those are special items that we are talking with the contractor that we need changes on to be done, and they're ordering those. And then the other portion is the interior portion where we had a second bid with that went to Cushman Contracting as part of the last board meeting, and they've been ordering materials. And one of the things they need to do is weld the stainless steel. So once they get those stainless steel pipes, they'll be welding those. Once those are welded, they'll bring it over to the site, and they plan on quickly, within a 2-week time period or so, get everything on the interior. As you know, we're running off of 1 pump, and we have 3 that need to be going in there. So they'll have all of that new discharge line. The new pumps will go in, and everything in terms of the exterior and interior will be done. And we have a deadline of November 30th at the latest for everything to be completed, exterior and interior molestation.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you, Swan. Great job on this project, too. So thanks so much.
Through the chair, Joan has her hand raised.
Joan.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to give Brianne an opportunity to comment on some public comment that she forwarded to me regarding this project. Facebook posts, Brianne?
Yes, so in Plumas Lake, through the Plumas Lake Chatter, there's been some communications of some pretty upset customers with regards to the smell walking past it. Some of them thought that because, they don't see a lot of work going on, that it was completed or near completion without having all the information. There's also some talk about a class action lawsuit for a nuisance of the smell and for how long it's been going on, and that it's getting worse and not getting any better or anything along the, some stuff along those lines. So it was brought to my attention by one of the employees here. So I took a look at it and talked to John, and he wanted me to screenshot it and send it to Joan so that way she could take a look at it and if need to comment to do so. But just a few unhappy individuals that kind of don't attend the meetings, but they thought it was done.
So I wanted the board members to be aware so that if you hear comments in the community, they don't catch you off guard. I also wanted to recommend that perhaps OPUD consider creating a web page devoted to the upgrades being undertaken on this site. It would just be informational. Sworn could provide some facts about what has been done, what will be done, and when we anticipate it will be completed. So that there's information available to members of the public who are concerned.
John, so do you suggest too that we do that for South County projects once those get going, so people know and have an understanding of where we're at with the projects as they move forward?
I would recommend doing it in advance of the project commencing. This is something that other municipalities do regularly, is they really undertake a marketing campaign regarding a large project so that residents are aware of the pendency of the project before they actually start seeing roads torn up and construction underway.
So I believe there is a website set up, if not now, very soon for the South County project. That's something that Yuba-Water is taking on because they have an entire public affairs department. And then as far as the lift station, I think that's a great idea. I think it could be something as simple as just a Facebook page because it seems to be that's where we're getting all the complaints. So I think that would be very worthwhile.
I agree.
Anything else, Joan?
That was it. I just wanted you all to be aware, so if someone approaches you, you understand what it's about.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And Joan, through the chair, Joan, since I'm one of the 2 board members who actually lives in Plumas Lake, I'm not on this chatter, but I would imagine at some point I'll be contacted or could be in the community. Just where we are, like if somebody were to ask, what's a responsible answer? I mean, obviously I can provide, we're working on it. Please tune into our board meetings. It's a long process, but what would you recommend, like a blanket response could be that's informative, but also, within our standard?
So I don't know. I don't know if Sworn is still on the line. I don't know what the ETA for completion is. I would say that, this has been a complex issue to address, and OPUD is addressing it as quickly as they can through retention of the specialists necessary to carry out the work. And then Sworn, are you on the line and can you speak?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's in
Oh,
person.
okay, I'm sorry, I can't see you on the screen.
That's right.
Yeah. You can just forward them to me and I can answer any updates in progress.
No, but Sworn, we need to give the board members very brief talking points so that they can answer it directly rather than saying, because they're the ones who this constituents turn to. So we need to give the directors brief so that they don't have to say, oh, I don't know, please go to Sworn. We need to give them enough information to be initially responsive, and then they can say, if we need more information, you can contact our Public Works Director.
Yeah, so that information was actually posted as part of that, those screenshots. I believe either Director Peralt or Supervisor Bradford or both fielded some of the questions, and they immediately sent them to me, and I immediately answered them. I told them exactly what Swornjeet said, that I set a deadline of the end of November to have this finished.
Okay.
So that, but that's the way it's looking right now, is the end of
Thank
November.
you. That's all I need to know.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else, board members? Public? All right, move in, consider approving the request for bid and the bid specifications for OPUD truck assembly crane project.
So as we expand on our projects, I know we did this earlier, I think last year for the sewer department, where they got a crane truck and OPUD had the F550 truck in for pulling out pumps and whatnot. They also need a crane assembly that would be assembled on that F550, and that's this bid for that truck assembly crane project on the water side.
All right, was this put in the budget already for this year?
What is in there last year, we put enough in the budget for a crane truck. Now, there's about $35,000 left over, which we put in this year's budget for the crane assembly. So depending on how the bid comes in, we may have to ask for budget amendments.
All right.
I'm going to make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
First, second, please call roll.
Dr. Burbank?
Yes.
Dr. Grego?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries, 4 present.
Okay, consider approving request for bid and bid specifications for the Plumas Lake Water Treatment Plant Well 34 and Well 35 capacity increase and site improvement specifications project.
I know that's a lot, but essentially, we're currently almost complete with the well 35. That's the new well that's being developed right now. It should be done by the end of this month. The drillers are drilling right now, and they're pretty much going to be testing the water to make sure it's pumping correctly before we, cap it until we begin this portion of the project. So we wanted to do it right away. Once that was drilled, we wanted to get into bids so it can be in the process of being connected to the system, because this one will feed directly into the Plumas Lake treatment plant. As you are aware, about a year and a half ago, we started the manganese project, which was adding 3 additional filters. We already put the pad for the 6th one because we knew we were going to need that once 35 was online. So this project will encompass not only equipment 35 by adding a new filter, which will be the 6th one at the Plumas treatment plant. It also does some minor improvements to well 34, so it pretty much will encompass Plumas Lake pretty holistically in terms of all the improvements due to the development that has increased quite significantly since around 2020 and giving adequate capacity to that area.
Nice. Any questions from the board?
I'm going to approve.
I'll second.
I have a first, second, please call roll.
Dr. Burbank?
Yes.
Dr. Grego?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries, 4 approving, 1 absent.
All right, next item, consider approving general manager to sign off on access to OPUD's priorities affected by Yuba County's improvement project.
So one of the things, as you're aware, is Yuba County has a project where they're going to be adding storm, sidewalk, and curb and gutter. Specifically, it's between 2nd and 11th and along Western in Tulsa and some other minor streets. And we have 4 properties that will be affected by adding curb and gutter or driveways. And the county is just asking this like permission and letting us know of those affected properties that we have, as I stated, 4 of them that will be part of their project
Okay.
for improvements.
Yeah, I remember us talking about this.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second?
First, second, please call roll.
Director Burbank?
Yes.
Director Drago?
Yeah.
Director Nelson?
Yes.
Director Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries for approving when absent.
All right, moving on to fire department, receive an update on our Yuba LAFCO meeting from September 24th, 2025.
So Brianne talked to my place, I was unable to make the meeting, so she filled in for me, and that she can brief the board on that place thing.
Okay.
So during the meeting, it went through where the merging of Marysville and Linda fire departments took place. They started the process of that, so that was approved. Then there was a request for proposal from the to hire a consultant to study the SOI and provide recommendations. With that, I asked Paige to send me that request for proposal. She did send it over. I sent it off to Chief and to John to have them take a look at it. The next meetings that will take place, I believe, is November, I think November 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where they will review the proposals. And then in December, make a determination on who they're going to hire, and then start that process to work on the SOI. In the meantime, while that's going on, they're also going to be working on the merger for Marysville and Linda. They reaffirmed their current sphere of influence at that meeting. So Marysville's sphere as well as Linda's sphere was reaffirmed during that meeting. But when we go through this other process, they will take a look at that as well.
So a quick question, Boo. Was the Earl Road property included in their sphere of influence that they approved? That's in our district?
Everything that is the way it's currently set was reaffirmed currently.
And will that get updated when everything else is done?
I don't know. I don't know
Is
what,
Chief shaking his head yes?
I don't know where that will head.
Where's
Yeah, that currently, to the chair, currently that's in our fire district. They cannot take it away unless the OPUD board of directors decide to let that go. So that is in our district. The way I understand it, and legal counsel can correct me if I'm wrong, that it would have to be a LAFCO change, and LAFCO hasn't changed that. That is still our district. Only though a couple years ago, the ISO was changed to that limited could better serve that area. It was not taken out of OPUD's hard fire district, so therefore it is still OPUD's hard fire district. So with this new SOI study being done, we still have that chance to reiterate that we can protect it now better because we're upstaffed and we've came a long way since 2008. When was last time?
So also, I have a question for their consultant or whatever. Are they looking for a firm or an individual person?
No, they from the RFP that I read, they're looking for a firm with multiple individuals to be able to work on it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, one of the things that was mentioned during the meeting was the Marysville-Linda merger sets a good precedence for future mergers and takeovers.
I'm sorry, repeat that? What did you just say?
Future mergers and takeovers.
I heard that part. What sets a good precedent for?
The Marysville-Linda merger.
Annexation.
Yes, sets a good precedence for future mergers and takeovers.
Well, there has to be, I disagree with that statement. I mean, there has to be cooperation.
So.
Yeah, there has to be cooperation on both ends. There's just no takeovers per se. And think of it doing LAFCO.
Were those words used at that meeting?
He's saying, yeah.
I know. Who's worked for those?
So anyway, the issue I
Supervisor
have with all of this is that, LAFCO has individuals who are politicians on there with their own agendas. And that's the issue. And I have a problem with that because we're representing taxpayers, people who have these services in this location of Olivehurst and Plumas Lake. So they're wanting to, they're seeing the assets that we've been able to develop and have, and now they're wanting to take this over. And they're wanting to shortcut getting to a place to where they can get those assets as a shortcut for being able to use them for their own purposes, which does not really at all do any benefit at all to our people that are constituents that live here in Olivehurst and Plumas Lake. So I've got a problem with that.
It just builds kingdoms is what it does. And, I remember on our LAFCO agenda that you're instructed to take off your city, county, they don't have special districts or public have, and be there for the good of the LAFCO purpose, not to represent your district or your city position.
Right.
And so I'm sure that's still on their agenda. I don't see any reason why anybody would take that off because that's the mission of LAFCO. So I really feel like that was a statement that wasn't proper.
Yeah.
And could be criticized. For the reasons you just stated.
Challenge.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you for attending that, Bree.
Yeah.
And keeping us updated on what, the conversations that took place and be aware. And then Joan, can you make sure you make a little notation on that railroad property that it's in our district?
Yes, I need help identifying what that is because I'm not as familiar as you residents with the area. And so, Bree, if you can help me designate what that area is, I will. And by the way, I want to introduce you to my colleague, Danielle Potestillo. She is the Assistant General Counsel for Olivehurst Public Utility District. Raise your hand, Danielle.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And so, she will help me with that. But Danielle, will you just set up a quick call with me and Bree and you, and we'll make sure we keep track of that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, moving on to item 9, human resources. Consider opening a wastewater collection operator 2 lateral position. I thought we had already approved this.
Yeah, so this one, it went through committees for review, but the board has to approve.
Okay.
So this one would be we have an individual that received some additional certifications, is qualified to move into this position. And so we would do a lateral, have them move into it, but not backfill.
Okay.
So the position they'd be leaving would be then just held open?
No, there would be no backfill. So they would just promote into this position, that their position would be closed out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's a small increase to the budget that Karen went through with the chief plant operator, and they can work it into the budget.
It's kind of like government, you do that job and a new job.
Two jobs now.
That's it. They get paid a little bit more.
Just tiny.
Why not? Okay, looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. I will second that.
First and second, please call roll.
Director Burbank?
Yes.
Director Grego?
Yeah.
Director Nelson?
Yes.
Director Flo?
Yes.
Motion carries for approving when absent.
When I retired from the county, they hired 3 new program managers to fill my position.
Wow. That's how you know you're good.
It's just ugly. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay, moving on to committee schedules. Any changes?
Everybody gonna be present?
So far.
Yeah.
It's under the change.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think we're good on all that. So I'll move on to reports, committee reports, starting off with general manager.
I don't have anything this time.
Okay, thank you, John. Joan?
Nothing from me this evening. Thank you.
Okay, and then directors?
I just want to say thanks to the Olivehurst Fire Department so that Duke's Diner didn't burn down the other night. They were on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a fire behind, right where the smoke shop is and the diner, that field right there.
Yeah.
There was a fire that was started. I don't know what what was behind that, but it was a lot of wood and branches and stuff like that that went poof.
Oh,
And
no.
so these guys, for Olivehurst Fire Department, were Johnny on the spot and got it taken down very quickly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, she had a nice little reunion party there the next night, and I was worried that, there's gonna be some strange smells or anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
I
it
smelled
was
nothing,
perfect.
nothing affected it.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
Directors, any comments or anything to report? Okay. So moving on to closed session. So closed session, we're going to move into closed session, conference with legal counsel, anticipating litigation, initiation of litigation pursuant, paragraph 4, subdivision D of Government Code 54956.9, one case. Then we will also have a conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, paragraph 1, subdivision D, section 54956.9, name of the case in the matter of Asquith Film foaming litigation against DuPont, 3M, Tyco, BASF, and AAF MDL number 2873. That's a mouthful. All right.
I'd like to have,
We will see you in closed session. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody needs to take a...
John, did you need anything?
I think he checked out.
Stop saying.
He must have moved on to the next...
No, he's here.
Is it?
sorry, yeah, I'm
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
Local governments and schools make important decisions that have short-term and long-term impacts on our community and quite possibly on you. Yuba-Sutter.LIVE makes it easier for you to know what's going on. We live stream up to 4 local government meetings every Tuesday, important special meetings, Olivehurst Public Utility District's monthly Thursday meetings, and town halls. To make it easier for you, we pull out informative sections and present them individually. For Your Information, our new series that posts Wednesdays right here on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and follow our Facebook page so you know when we're live and when we've posted something new. For Your Information, local government meetings made shorter. Posting Wednesdays here on Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. It's the truth that comes through.